Come next, right here on the Fortminorproject channel, where I will be talking about a couple of topics. And you know what's coming up next? That's right, roll that damn intro.
Inside me, a light was turned on. Then I was alive. If you close your eyes, your life, a naked truth revealed. Dreams you never lived and scars never healed. In the darkness, light will take you to the other side. And find me waiting there, you'll see if you just close your eyes.
What's going on, guys? I'm back at it again in here for the video, and in here for a couple of things, especially with a couple of topics that has been going around for a while now. Just wanted to state some of that off. And before I get into the actual video, I will be going to the WWE MSG special that'll be happening Saturday, October 3rd, which will be dope and awesome there. First time since 2008 going to that show. So for whoever who's going, whoever I'm subscribed to with my friends and everything, feel free to say hello, and I will be going to that show. Expect a day in a life video from that and a couple of pictures and all that good stuff. So that's going to be really cool going to that, and looking forward to it nonetheless. And getting right down into it, especially to what's been happening now with Jimmy Superfly Snuka being arrested not too long ago with an old story that happened in the 80s about him being able to kill his wife, ex-wife, at the time. And that's pretty insane that it happened in the 1980s, learning about it, and now being able to not be a part of the Hall of Fame and stuff anymore. It's pretty insane just to hear about it. And if you ask me, Jimmy Superfly Snuka should have been arrested a long time ago, if anything. And apparently it was a cold case too after a while, whatever. So they just brought it back up, and now all this is happening. So it's actually pretty crazy hearing about that, and we'll see where that goes, but it is pretty damn insane and what happened with that. So he definitely fucked up on that note. So, you know, it is what it is when it comes to that, on how that happened. Another thing too, that I have been hearing lately too, about the Chris Benoit movie. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't really think it should really be happening that much. I don't know if I would really go out of my way as to watching the movie and everything is supposed to be going into, I guess, not only with his life and career with wrestling, but of course with the tragedy that happened. So that would be kind of a hard watch just to be able to check out and everything. I don't know if I would watch it, like I said, personally, if you ask me. That's just how I feel about it. But, you know, it is what it is when it comes to that. And there you have it with that. So another thing too that I wanted to touch bases on, and this is basically a pretty quick video, update video, but wanted to get out to, especially with WWE 2K16, especially what's been going on with the game as of right now. It's actually looking really good. I like how we're getting these roster updates each and every Monday. Next Monday will be the last one for the updated roster, and it's looking really cool. Basically, who's active on the main roster right now is in it, and other people from the past. So that's really cool with the recent update that I've seen. We got Edgy Christian on there. That's really cool. Couple of other people like we got Mick Foley, the three faces of Foley looking to be in there. Of course, Stone Cold being a part of it and being on the main cover of 2K16. And it's looking to be pretty badass. I'm looking to pre-order it soon. Um, if not anything, I will most likely just get it the day it comes out. If I don't get to pre-order it, I'm looking to try and do that on my birthday, since it's September 23rd, which is coming up pretty fast, and I'll be 26 soon. So yeah, looking forward into what's gonna be happening around for my birthday. So that's really cool. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, when it comes to the latest that has been going on in wrestling right now, the major topics that I have been wanting to talk about for quite some time. I am in New York right now for vacation. We'll be here for a while. So it's been going really well, and I actually got a new tablet, been messing around with that, so that's really cool. I actually will show it off that I did get that, so the Galaxy tablet is really well worth it. Definitely have been a little addicted to it, but hey, can't go wrong with that. And another thing that I've been looking to do too, probably especially for next week, so in the Hot Seat Live will be back. I am actually going to do a Periscope a little bit more. Chris, Boston Fan 79V1 has brought that to my attention. I've seen other people doing it, and of course, even wrestlers themselves have been using it. So it's kind of like a live blog, if you want to put it this way, and it's more for tablets and for cell phones for downloading the app. So it's interesting. I think it's been around for a while now. It's still really new, and I'm trying to get used to it. So I might do like a double featured for next week's in the Hot Seat Live, and maybe have some Q&A questions going on for that too. On top of that, I still haven't uh, really figured out what I really want to do with Periscope at the moment. Of course, I'll do the wrestling talk and a couple of other random stuff since it looks really cool, and I'll figure it out when the time comes. So definitely go follow me on Periscope now, which is my Twitter handle, of course, at DavidRivera1989. So that's good. I'm able to use Twitter for that. So it's basically a live Twitter and day in a life type of thing, if you will. So yeah, there you have it with that. Definitely. Uh, Check that out. And another thing too, with the Edgy Christian podcast that happened actually last night, which was really nice. I really like the Edgy Christian podcast where we're able to see them back and what they've been up to, and seeing them with Stone Cold Steve Austin was really cool. They talked about the tag team division on how it has been lately, and after a while, it wasn't really uh, as popular, and we didn't have that many teams. But now, since we got more into that with the Dudley Boys coming back, when they came back, that was really cool to see that added to the mix, especially with the New Day and the Primetime Players and the Lucha Dragons and teams like that, and to see where tag team has really changed and everything. So they talked about that, which was nice. And Edge talked about too, like how he's been doing like life after being on the road so much and retiring early and everything. And it looks like to me Christian is seemed to be retired. So hopefully we get that proper retirement out of him and have it be in the Hall of Fame, which is well deserved. That's definitely going to be emotional once that happens, since we already have Edge in the Hall of Fame. So why not have Christian hopefully sometime soon? So I would like to see that. It's pretty crazy to actually have that happen. Him basically practically being retired. I'm still not really used to it. So I'm gonna have to have some time to actually get used to that too, since I do miss seeing him in action and everything. So seeing him last night on the podcast was really cool. So if you haven't watched it, definitely go check out the Edgy Christian podcast with Stone Cold Steve Austin on his podcast and everything. So that's really cool. So maybe we'll get to see them a little bit more often, and maybe for other special events like that when the time comes and when it's needed. So it was really nice to see them. So maybe we'll get to see them soon. So there you have it with that on the topics that I did want to talk about. Let me know how you feel about what's been going on too, especially with Jimmy Superfly Snuka, the Chris Benoit movie. What do you feel about that? And the Edgy Christian podcast. And then there you have it with that. So of course, In the Hot Seat will be back live next week. So definitely be on the lookout for that, where we talk about Night of Champions. So that should be interesting there. More on the predictions for next week's show, which would be most likely next Tuesday, if anything, if not Wednesday. So there you have it with that. And until then, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.